Periscope gonna work tonight, because last night it didn't work. There's gonna be some issues. Okay, y'all folks, thank you for joining. All right, cool. Here we go. So this is a local workshop, and today we're gonna talk about Twitter. All right. We have people HIPAA-aware joining me in Periscope. Excellent. All right, so before I start, I'm assuming all of you have a Twitter, right? You said all of you have a Twitter? Okay. And are you all using it for a business or personal use? Both. Both? Okay. So you can have two, right? You can have multiple Twitter accounts. So since all of you use Twitter account or Twitter, go ahead and give me one definition. What does Twitter mean to you? Don't be shy. There's no right or wrong answer. Nobody's going to make fun of you. You're right. So, yes.
Very fast, smart, short information.
Very fast, smart, and short information. I like that. What else? Very fast, small, short information. Anything else? What is it? Twitter.
Great tool for business.
Great tool for business. That's what Rick said. What else?
And you can choose who you want, I like that.
And you can choose who you're going to communicate with, right? Yes. Anything else?
A very fast, strong rumor tool.
All right. Very fast way of spreading rumors.
Let's start with.
Yeah, well, even when you have a lot of situations happening overseas, in fact, when the North Star Mall, they had the lockdown at the North Star Mall, I didn't check the news, I went to Twitter. Because they got the news before the news. Okay? To see what people are tweeting about.
So why won't it give me any of my proposed usernames?
That means somebody else already got it, already have it. So if you want to create a username, it can be your personal or your business name.
And it won't take my business name.
Yeah, that means somebody else has that. So you have to make it up. Maybe you can put essay after that, or just put different numbers.
Your initials.
Yeah.
The year you opened the business.
Okay. All right. So if you want to define it, it's a social media platform, like any social media website out there, right? And what makes Twitter unique and different than the rest of the other platform out there, that is very short. I mean, you have this 140 character, what forces you to be creative on what are you going to share. Does that make sense? And I think it's one of the most simplest platforms to set up and use. Because if you look at Pinterest and if you look at Facebook, there's so much work to be done right there, right? But with Twitter, just log in, sign up, and you're good to go, right? So it's a communication tool. It's a very useful communication tool. And it comes in 3 ways. So you can send a short message to everyone publicly. So if I have, let's say, 100 followers, I'm going to tweet, all the 100 followers can see it, and if anybody search for it, they can see it too, because it's public within Twitter. So you have to be careful what you can tweet, okay? Because once you delete it, that's fine, but guess what? Somebody else probably going to take a snapshot and then use that against you, okay? Then secondly, you can also tweet or send a so-called text message or tweet specifically to somebody but publicly. So let's say Rick going to ask me a question. He will say, hey, Yusuf, how are you doing? So that means he's talking to me back and forth, but the whole world or all our followers will see it. And if anybody search for our information, they can see it too. That's what I mean by public. Okay? And the last one, you can send a private message. So one of the updates recently that Twitter did, because you only have 140 character limit, in the private messages, it was the same situation. You couldn't type more than 140, right? Guess what? Not anymore. In the private message, you can write a novel if you want. Okay? And there was I'm not sure if it's a rumor, but there was some talk about removing the 140 character. I'm like, why would you do that, Twitter? Because that's what makes you unique. You know what I'm saying? So people got mad, like, what? What are you trying to do that? So there's been some talk, and I'm not sure it's true, but they're talking about it, and I hope that's not going to happen because, again, what makes Twitter unique is that 140 character. Okay? But now, another two new, not the 2 new features, there's another feature is the 30-second video. So now you can actually do a video and tweet the video. Okay? Like 30 seconds video, which is also cool because if nobody else does it and you do it, you will stand out from the rest. You can. Instagram has a 16-second, but Twitter has more. And with Instagram, you can do the special effects. Like, you can start, you can pause, right? But with Twitter, you just start, and that's it. There's no, once you stop it, it's done. So you gotta keep talking. So I think it's steady stack. I've seen some commercial for 2 minutes as a video in Twitter. So you wanna double check and see. Maybe Rick can do a quick video on Twitter and see how long it lasts. Kids are looking at me. Yeah? And one of the most popular tweets that is most effective right now is the Twitter with images. So it has its own dimensions. So when you tweet, you send the image with the Twitter, that actually stands out than the rest. And for that, I'm going to show you how to use Canva to create an awesome image when you tweet it out. Okay? So that is the definition. Okay? Why do I mention the definition? Because I want you to understand what it is before you start using it. Because if you have no idea what does Twitter mean, then what's the point of using it? Okay? That's why I started with the definition. Any questions? Y'all genius. Okay. Now, before we talk about Twitter again, I need to talk about the 6th principle in social media marketing. So if you understand this principle, it applies on any social media platform. It doesn't matter whether you use YouTube, podcast, Facebook, Instagram, anything, you have to understand this 6th concept. Okay? Because it can be applied anywhere. The first one is provide valuable, fresh, engaging, awesome, wowing content. What the heck is a content? Nobody knows? Anything? Give me examples. When I say, what is this? What is this wow, amazing, engaging content? What is that?
Information.
Information.
Video.
Tips.
Tips.
How to. Right? How is it going to be engaging though? Think.
It's got to be relevant to the audience.
It's excellent. It has to be relevant to the audience. Good. And it's going to have like
Be unique.
unique and like how to, educational, right?
And a puppy or a kid.
Oh,
Then you're good, right?
yeah, absolutely. But what about engaging? How can I make it engaging? Offer, yeah. But the engaging part is not you. The engaging part is them. How can you make them engage with you?
Feedback.
Huh?
Respond to comments.
No, not you. Them. Let's say they're responding to you. They're retweeting. That is engaging, right? So how are you going to make them engage?
Make it worth retweeting, right?
And write to them.
Like if I share content, how can I make them engage? How can I make them respond back? How can I make them retweet? How can I make them reply? What should I do to make them engage with me? If you ask a question, what's going to happen?
Then answer.
That's engaging. They're engaging back, right?
Get them excited and interested.
Right. Absolutely. Now they have another feature they added. It's called poll. Poll, you can have a survey. It's only 2. There's a new feature you can add poll, like, select number 1 or 2, select number. That's another engaging way of having people involved in giving votes, giving voice. That's a new feature. Okay? So when I say engaging, you have to figure out, if I share something, how can I make them retweet, reply back, say something? So when you ask a question, they can reply back. If you want them to retweet it, say please RT or please retweet. Okay? Use consistent. What happened? It's broken. Use consistent call to action. So what I mean by that, if you are going to retweet something and you leave it open-ended sentence, that does not mean that they're going to reply back to you, right? So what you do, the same thing with the question, like if you share something with a client and you ask them a question, that will allow them to engage back with you. So something like, please RT, reply, or something like that. That's what I mean by call to action. So if you tweet every time, you don't want to have the consistent call to action on every tweet. You have to balance it. You don't want to ask for every tweet for everything. Then you become desperate. Does that make sense? Every time you tweet, please retweet, please retweet. I'm like, dude, calm down. You know? Okay? So from time to time, you can add call to action. Be authentic means just be you, how you tweet, how you talk, how you share. You don't have to act like somebody else. Okay? then curate content from somewhere else. What I mean by that, if you find other people sharing awesome material, awesome links, awesome images, retweet it. Okay? I mean, it's good to kind of share information from somewhere else and not just from you all the time, because you become the hub, the distributor for different content within your niche. So there's nothing wrong with that when you share from other people.
It's different than curating. It's slightly different, right?
Well, curation basically means you're taking people's content and sharing it and adding it on. That's what it means. Balance your content. What I mean by that, if I'm a dentist, I don't want to talk about dentistry all the time. That's going to be so boring, right? Only talk about freaking dentists. What is that? Do something like a little bit fun stuff. Something like has nothing got to do with the business. Maybe the office space. Maybe how do you co-work or work together. Does that make sense? So that's what I mean by balance. A lot of your content has to be educational, like tips, advice, and some of them, of course, promotional. And last but not least, you always have to monitor. You always have to monitor, measure your progress. What I mean by that, if you're going to tweet every day, Monday to Friday, you have to check and see how people are reacting to it, how many leads I'm getting, which content gets the most, conversation. Does that make sense? Because every activity, every time you put your effort using these strategies, you don't want to just sit there and expect for a miracle to happen. Okay, that doesn't work in real life.
I'll go back and ask a question. Balance. Is there a rule of how much should be fun stuff versus how much should be?
Excellent question. That's a beautiful question. Is there a rule how many percent fun, how many percent? Unfortunately, that is up to you, because that depends on your audience and how they react. So some say, oh, use 33% here, 33% there, 30. I'm like, and some say 80-20. It doesn't matter. It's your audience. So the idea is the majority of the time, you have to provide value. When I say value, a material, an advice, a content that will benefit your target market, that will benefit your customer, like tips that will benefit them because you're teaching them, right? That should be the value. Then maybe, let's take an example of, let me give you a scenario. If you tweet 3 times a day, Monday to Friday, maybe on Thursday, you should have a promotional tweet. What, right? Because from Monday to Friday, only talking about tips and advice and cool stuff and fun stuff, right? But maybe on Thursday, I'm going to do promotion. I'm going to promote my product. Does that make sense? Hey, check out this 15% off, or have a 30%, consultation at no cost, that kind of stuff, and see how people react. But in the beginning, as a beginner, if you start the tour as a beginner, your whole objective is to get targeted leads, right? And you have to focus more on providing valuable content. Okay, then test it with the promotion, then test it with the product, because you have to build a trust first, right? You have to build a trust, and social media is all about building a community, building that relationship, right? So once you build that trust, then you can start offering and test to see which one works, which one doesn't. Like for instance, me, I get so many leads because I always share tips, I share content, I share images, I share other articles about my digital marketing niche. So when people see that, oh, do you do this? And yes, and we go to private messages and we'll close the deal. Why? Because I'm always teaching, I'm always giving. Few times I have a content that says, hey, we have a discount this month, or try this thing, right? Even then we get few leads. But that didn't happen one night, because the majority of the time I was just giving content all the time. Does that make sense? Until I built a specific follower. Let's say my strategy is, you know what, I'm a beginner, and my strategy, maybe within 3 months, I need to have at least, 200 followers. 200 organic, authentic, loyal followers. Then maybe after that, I'm going to start promoting my product. You see what I'm saying? So you have to have some sort of strategic plan before you start to hey, buy my stuff. Like one of the mistakes that most businesses do, they set up a Facebook page or a Twitter account, and the first tweet they say, hey, buy my stuff, buy my shoes, buy my flying pants, right? That's not going to work, okay? That's going to be disastrous. All right, any questions so far? Are we good? Is this understood 100%, so I don't have to repeat it? All right. So what can you use Twitter for? Of course, it's a social media channel. It's for friends and family to hang out and chit-chat and talk about your nice burger. Right? Take a picture, right? So what else we can use it for?
Follow our celebrity friends.
Oh, follow the celebrity friends. Look at that. follow our celebrity friends, okay?
Education.
Education. Who's in real estate? You're in real estate, right?
Get leads.
You can search for people that are asking to selling home fast or buying home fast, right?
Reshaping the community mind.
Yeah, reshaping the community, yes. Announcements, events, yes. News.
Politics.
Absolutely. Anything else you can think of? There you go. Promote your brand. You can promote your brand through Twitter. Customer support, because Rackspace, they do that. Did you know that? Rackspace has a Twitter support. So you have an issue, you tweet. It's pretty soon nobody's going to call you anymore. Okay? That's the best way to do it. Because think about it, because it's all public. People can see it. Other customer can see it. You can't hide it. It's all about transparency, right? So you can use it for support. In fact, we do this all the time. So many stories like, Jonathan, the guy from New York. He's with the USAA insurance. And a couple of years ago, he wrecked his car. It wasn't his fault. He was running green light. Somebody else came in and just wrecked his car. He was okay, thank God. But USA still told him that he needs to pay 10%. But he said, how? I mean, it wasn't my fault. They told him that you should have looked. That's what they told him.
Wow.
What do you should have looked? He's going to the green light, right? So he was devastated. He was like, man, what should I do? It's actually 10%, but still too much money. What should I do, Yusuf? And I'm like, smack him in the head. I'm like, you're not teaching the class that you should tag them, right? So we tagged them. So what we did, I told him, go to Twitter and go to Facebook and professionally say, hey folks, this won't happen. Do you think this is fair? Right? So I jump in, oh man, that sucks, right? So initiate a conversation, and all his friend comes in, they're all jumping in. I swear, within 1 week, they give him full coverage. Because it's public, right? So back in the days, you know how when you go to a restaurant, the food is bad, I want to call my attorney? Don't do that anymore. All I have to do is just grab your phone and I'm going to tweet this, right? And that's going to scare them. Okay? You can interact with your customers. You can generate leads. And you can also track what other people are saying. This is very funny because I used to talk to some of the small businesses, local businesses. There's one chiropractor from California was telling me, hey Yusuf, I don't want to be in social media. I don't want to be on Twitter. I don't want my bad customers or unhappy customer badmouth me or give me a bad review. I said, but that doesn't matter. So I moved my laptop just in front of him. So again, what was your name? The clinic? And I typed the name in Twitter search, and guess what? People already talking about it. Yeah. So whether you exist or you don't, they're talking about you. Just like a word of mouth. People always talk about somebody else in real life. Do you think they're not going to do the same thing on social media? So the problem is right now, I told them, look, they're talking about you. You have a positive conversation about your service, and you also have negative. But the problem is you're losing both of them. Why? You're not responding to any one of them. If somebody gives you a positive view, you follow them, you thank them, right? Because they exist and you exist, and they go, oh wow, look at this doctor replied to my tweet. This is awesome. He is awesome. Let's send him more followers. But the fact you're ignoring him, it's like somebody coming to you, you're awesome. You're like, just ignoring that person completely. That's how you're behaving. And of course, the one that make fun of you, you're not even responding to them. So you got to respond to them again. Don't delete or yell at them. Just professionally respond to them. So other new prospect, when they see that, oh look at how they responded. They are very professional. They're very courteous. They're very patient. You know what? These are good company because they did not lash out and did something crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay. So create a buzz about like an event, fiesta coming up and whatnot. Create a buzz. Share your content. If you have a blog post, tweet it, and develop relationship with other bloggers. So right now, I do follow for years so many bloggers, so I tweet, hey, nice blog post, I appreciate it, I like it, ask questions, and have a relationship with them. You can even tweet the CEO of a company, like at Rackspace, Graham Weston. You can follow him and tweet to him. He'll respond back to you if he's free. Amazing, right? So you can have that personal touch, right? Okay. Any more question about what are you going to use Twitter for? Are we good? We good? I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't have a telepathic, power. You're supposed to say, yes, I'm doing good, yes. Just yell, yes. Okay, thank you. So you can also take the Twitter with you. What I mean by that, of course, it's a web-based. You can open your laptop, you go to Twitter, use it, but you can also take it with you on your phone. So you have to download the Twitter app, so you can respond quickly from your mobile device. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here's another cool thing. People think Twitter is just for fun, but guess what? Twitter themselves, they have a blog in this area. In media, in advertising, engineering, developers, buying, small business, TweetDeck, Twitter for Good, which is a nonprofit, international services, brands on Twitter. These are blog posts by Twitter within these areas. I think it's still there. You know? So it's not just a social platform, but they cover all these areas. Isn't that amazing? Right?
Yes.
There you go. You're like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, Yusuf. Yes or no? I'm not sure.
Sure, yeah, sure.
Okay. You can check out later on. So here we go. Here's the profile. So when you start your Twitter account, whether it's a business or personal, if it's a business, I know a lot of so-called social media experts say do not use your logo because you're supposed to be the person that people are talking to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
My view is different. My view is, it depends. You know why it depends? Let's say you're a law firm. Let's say this is Rick Clark Law Firm, right? Criminal law justice, whatever, right? And he has 10 attorneys with him, and they're all big, like they're all well known. Does that make sense? So his law, the name of his law firm is the Ninja Clerk Law Firm. That's his law firm, right? So for him, he might use the logo because it might not be him answering all the time. It could be somebody else. You see, that's my view. In fact, I have a client who are surgeons. They don't want to even tweet. They don't even use Facebook. In fact, right now, some of them are using Facebook by responding to the patients, but they have a logo because that's the practice. And they have like 4 or 5 surgeons. If they want to have a personal relationship with their patient, then they have to make their own personal Facebook page. But they are busy taking care of the patient. They don't have time to be in the social all the time, right? So I say it depends. Okay, you test it. But if you want to have a personal brand like your name, make sure you put your face. Okay, because they're going to talk to you. And don't put a face of a cat or an egg or a donkey or picture with several other people. I'm like, okay, so which one of you is you, right? That's confusing. Want to play mind trick on me? Right? Don't do that. Or you have a picture with, I don't know, somebody who's old and you're young. I don't know if that's your dad, your uncle, your grandpa. I don't know. It's so confusing.
Or when you're at a college frat party.
Yeah, like, I don't understand that.
Professional.
I like which one is which, right? Just use one professional picture profile, okay? Right now with Twitter, you can also use the background like a banner, right? So you can add some message. I'm going to show you how mine looks. You can have a different message or different design. You can also do that. And the Twitter handle, when somebody asks what's your Twitter handle, that's mine, which is @yusufchowdhury. That is my Twitter handle. And that is also your username. So the username and the Twitter handle is the same. Profile description, my description is I help businesses generate targeted web traffic and conversion using digital marketing. And I have my website right here twice. The reason I don't have to put the website right there, the reason I put it right here, because I use another service called catch.me for Periscope. And what happens, Catch basically grabs the profile from my Twitter account, so my link can be clickable in Catch. That's another website. If you want to use that, then you can use the website. Location, my website. This is another social media app called Vine. Anybody use Vine before? It's like Instagram, but like 7-second video. That's Vine. Yeah, so Twitter bought them. So that's why I have Vine right there automatically. And of course, when I join Twitter. Okay? And on the bottom, you're going to have all these images, whether it's your own picture or somebody else. So basically, this is how you set up the profile. It's so easy, right? Especially the description here, you have to make sure it's interesting. Like when somebody finds my Twitter, they can see what I do. If my target market look at my profile, oh, okay, so he helped businesses get conversion. Okay, that's the guy I'm going to talk to. Don't put like, I'm a CEO of a company and that's it. I mean, who cares? Nobody cares about you. It's about them, right? But even if you talk about yourself, tell us how you can help us. What can you do to us? Okay? All right, any question about the profile? Are we good?
Yeah.
There you go. Like that. You see, that's what I want. So this awesome gentleman, Michael Hyatt, I've been following him, not following him literally, but following his blog and learning from him. This is, look at the banner. See, that's pretty awesome, right? He's a public speaker, he's a social media expert, an online marketing expert. He got almost, look at that, freaking 200,000 followers. Anyway, but you see, you can put a quote, you can have this awesome banner for your Twitter, right? Recently, he changed this to this one. Because right now, he's the virtual mentor. So right now, 266,000 followers, but it's so good, right? So you can utilize that area to make your Twitter on the website stand out. And for that, you need to use Canva. www.canva.com. I'm going to show you how to use that to create an awesome banner. Okay? Any question? All right, Twitter terms. Do we know how many terms out there for Twitter? All the lingo, the Twitter lingo? Probably not. Right? Tweet, that's it? That's the first one. Okay, so let's see.
The first tweet out.
First tweet up, right? That is awesome. Okay, so the first one is to follow back. That means you are subscribing to somebody else, right? You're following somebody else. That's what to follow back means. Follower, somebody following me. Simple as that. Update, known as tweet. So can you tweet? Can you update? It's the same thing, but the majority call it tweet. Okay? And you cannot exceed more than 140 character.
Are they changing that?
Which one? That's what I heard.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's going to work because that's what makes Twitter unique. It's the 140 character, right? Reply, that means you're going to reply to somebody's tweet. You can also use somebody else's username. And you can also send direct messages, private messages, so nobody else can see it. And mention. When somebody says thanks for the mention, what that means, let's say Rick, I said, hey, thank you. Let's say, as an example, I love learning from Rick Clark because I mentioned his name or give him a shout out. That's what I mean by mention. So if you said Yusuf rocks, I'm going to say, hey, thanks for the mention, man. I appreciate it. Okay? See, right now we know the Twitter language, so I'm going to sound smart with other people, right? Timeline, which is the news feed. Okay? Okay? No question? You good?
So mentioning is just like tagging someone.
Yes. Tagging someone, but giving them a shout out.
Okay.
That's what it means. Tweet up, you see me to tweet up, right? So Twitter is like meetup. So an event is specially organized for Twitter users to meet up at a network. So you use a tweet up, I don't know, the Pearl, or tweet up downtown, or Twitter SBDC, so all of you get together at that place by tweeting this information. Hashtag, which is very powerful. Hashtag what brings you the lead, believe it or not. Hashtag brings you the targeted lead. So when you tweet something, at the end of the tweet, you use hashtag. But don't overdo it. I have some people, when they tweet, it says, hello, hashtag, hashtag, hashtag. You don't want to do that. Because if you do this, you become a hash hole. Okay? You don't want to be a hash hole, okay? One should be enough. One or two at the most. Okay? I should let you guys watch that, what is it, Saturday Night with Justin and Jimmy Fallon. I should play that now, okay? Retweet or RT means you are sharing it. That's what the retweet is. Or sometimes for the short we call RT. Thanks for the RT. Thanks for the retweet, okay? And Twitter handle, of course, that is your username, and that is your Twitter account, okay? So we know the lingo. What happened? Oh, the projector died? Looks like. That's not good. Wow. Hello, projector. Oh, yeah, it did die.
Can't restart it.
Huh?
Can't restart it. They unplugged it and plug it back in.
I don't know how. Somebody said, oops. All right. Yes, indeed. I blew off the projector. Now they're going to send me to jail. Let me end this.